Greetings all. Is it possible that Sauron can return? In J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings has captivated readers and audiences alike since its publication in the mid-20th century. The rich landscapes of Middle-earth, the multifaceted characters, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil have rendered it not just a tale but a cultural phenomenon. Chief among its internal conflicts is that involving Sauron the Dark Lord, whose malevolent influence looms large over the narrative. Given the enduring legacy of the franchise and the persistent interest in narratives set in this universe, a question of great intrigue arises. Could Sauron return? To understand the possibility of Sauron's return, one must first examine the nature of his character and his central role within Tolkien's work. Sauron, who was initially a servant of Morgoth, the primary antagonist of the Silmarillion, is a being of immense power and malice. His dominion over Middle-earth extends beyond physical form. Notably, he has become synonymous with the One Ring, a powerful artifact he forged to control the other rings of power and through them their bearers. The rise and fall of Sauron is deeply intertwined with the history of Middle-earth, reflecting themes of corruption, power, and the eternal struggle against tyranny. Having been vanquished at the end of the Third Age, particularly during the climactic events of The Lord of the Rings, Sauron is perceived to be defeated, yet his essence remains. Tolkien penned that the destruction of the ring effectively diminished Sauron's power to the point where he could no longer manifest in physical form. However, the narrative leaves space for interpretation. His spirit, while weakened, remains unbroken. This notion of remnant evil lurking beneath the surface of defeated foes is a recurring theme in literature and folklore, suggesting that the narrative surrounding Sauron may not be entirely over. In parsing the layers of Sauron's potential resurrection, one must first consider the nature of evil in Tolkien's universe. Unlike traditional villains who meet their ultimate demise, Sauron embodies a form of enduring evil that transcends time and mortality. His ambition and malice is only tempered by the conditions present within Middle-earth. Sauron's power, once deeply rooted in the One Ring, relies on the notions of fear, corruption, and domination. Thus, whether or not Sauron can physically return to the world, his ideologies and methods persist, manifesting various forms throughout different ages. The use of power as a corrupting force is central to Sauron's legacy, and while he may be defeated, history has shown that ideas can be perpetuated beyond their principal architects. His influence lingers in the shadows, and the potential for malevolence to resurface remains a theme intrinsic to Middle-earth's lore. The rise of new powers or tyrants is a perpetual cycle within Tolkien's works, hence to assert outright that Sauron cannot return ignores the complexities woven into the fabric of his world. Furthermore, as adaptations and expansions of the original source material continue to thrive, the conversation surrounding Sauron's legacy takes on new dimensions. Whether the series primarily covers the Second Age of Middle-earth, including characters and storylines that can draw associations back to Sauron, potentially offering fertile ground for the re-emergence of his influence. In this context, Sauron might not have to return in a physical form, rather his ideologies or corrupted followers could manifest as antagonists, reminding audiences that the seeds of despair and brutality grow easy in fertile ground. Cinematic adaptations have also played a significant role in revitalizing interest in Sauron's character. In Peter Jackson's film trilogy, while Sauron is portrayed as a shadowy, omnipotent force, and the Eye of Sauron serves as a core antagonist, his full depth and complexity remains somewhat unexplored. The potential for further cinematic exploration leaves room for reimagining Sauron, perhaps reviving him as a character whose ambitions continue to haunt the narratives of new heroes. This layered interpretation invites speculation regarding what an actual return of Sauron could entail. Transported to the modern age of storytelling, a revival could take various forms, perhaps a resurgence of ancient artifacts similar to the One Ring, or the rise of a new faction devoted to Sauron and bent on reenacting his grand design of power. An adversarial force that channels the despair and ambition reminiscent of Sauron's original influence could foster new heroes emerging in the face of that threat, echoes the themes of camaraderie, sacrifice, and steadfast natures of hope. While the original texts provide ambiguity post-Third Age, they do leave the door ajar for interpretation. The ongoing narrative of good versus evil is timeless, and the nature of such conflicts dictate that evil is not wholly extinguished. As long as injustices arise and power struggles continue, Sauron's essence, though diminished, can manifest in various ways, ensuring his presence is felt even if this is not explicitly named. In contemplating a potential return for Sauron, it becomes evident that the narrative does not necessitate a literal resurrection of the Dark Lord to remain impactful. Instead, his lingering influence serves as an allegorical touchstone, echoing the struggles of humanity against the tides of tyranny, despair, and corruption. The fractures left in the world may inspire new stories and characters, giving fresh interpretations while simultaneously honing the foundational themes of Tolkien's work. Ultimately, the allure of Sauron's potential return lies not only in the possibility of an epic battle against the Dark Lord, but also the opportunity to explore the deeper complexities of power and morality. J.R.R. Tolkien's rich tapestry of Middle-earth is not merely confined to its legends and lore. It serves as a canvas for reflection on humanity's greatest challenges. Within that context, the question of Sauron's return may ultimately pivot more significantly on how modern narratives choose to interpret the echoes of the past, suggesting that while Sauron may have fallen, the story of his legacy is far from over. This archive has now been fully decoded. Continue your journey into the librarium with the video displayed on screen. The vast wealth of the archives continues to reveal new knowledge of the history of the Tolkien universe. Nelluig Vanavan. Until we meet again.